all in one place, and count on personal customer first service every time you walk in. Check us out at Tysons.com.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Okay, we'll send these snakes slithering back to the desert.
Crack! Wall! See you later!
It's the Brewers and Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Labor Day Sale. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, August 28th. Your top story, investigating the shooting as a hate crime.
I'm Jessica Ty. The vice president comes to La Crosse.
Just a slight chance of rain today. A little breezy and a little cooler. High of just 71 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight and a low of 55. It's 68 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, the FBI now investigating the deadly Minneapolis shooting as a hate crime. Investigators combing through the shooter's background as well as YouTube videos the 23-year-old posted before opening fire in a Catholic church full of children. ABC's Luke Barr.
The police chief today said that this is just a classic pathway of an individual to becoming a mass shooter. The police chief said that the individual clearly harbored a whole lot of hate towards a wide variety of people. So, while there's no motive right now, the police chief is clearly saying that this was premeditated.
The shooting left 2 children dead. 17 additional were injured. Health officials in Minneapolis say everyone injured is expected to recover.
A mental health therapist in Whitefish Bay says the impacts of the shooting will linger with some students for the rest of their lives.
Their whole lives are going to be impacted by this.
Recovery will be a challenge, even for those not directly injured.
There's going to be this line in the sand in their life where there was life before this happened and now life after.
And Kate Stocks of Shoreside Therapies tells Wisconsin's Morning News for some students, life will never be the same. She cited her own experience at Tosa West High School back in the 90s when an associate principal was shot and killed by a former student.
That's a day that none of us are ever going to forget, and this is 3 decades later.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Well, the Trump administration is working to oust the new CDC director, Susan Monarez, from her post. Monarez says she's not stepping down, and her attorneys accuse Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of weaponizing public health. CBS's Natalie Brand is at the White House.
Less than a month after she was confirmed by the U.S. Senate, the Trump administration has moved to terminate CDC Director Susan Monarez. The White House said in a statement she's not aligned with the president's agenda of making America healthy again. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appeared on Fox News this morning.
The agency is in trouble, and we need to fix it. And we are fixing it, and it may be that some people should not be working there anymore.
Attorneys for Monarez argue she was targeted after she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated public health experts.
Several other top CDC officials also resigned. A top Democrat on the Senate Health Committee has called for Secretary Kennedy to be fired.
Crowds are gathered in La Crosse right now where Vice President J.D. Vance will soon make an appearance to highlight President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill.
The crowd includes members of the community and business leaders alike, like President of Vorman Steel, Ben Morrell.
Never been to an event like this, and it's really cool to see one of my oldest customers host such an event.
Morrell tells WTMJ if AI data center expansions and investment in Wisconsin infrastructure continue, the state could become a national economic hub.
It's a centrally located state. It's work-friendly. It's expansion-friendly, so I don't see why Wisconsin would not be a big part of that.
In La Crosse, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Yeah, we'll check in with Adam coming up in about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, Williams Bay residents should not drink the water. The DNR issuing the order after finding high nitrate levels following testing on Monday. The village will be temporarily increasing chlorine levels at the water plant and flushing the distribution system to eliminate the nitrate. Residents will be asked to pick up bottled water at Williams Bay School in the meantime and hold a village board meeting September 2nd to provide more details. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow Just looked at it, and it was in the red, and now it's in the green, up about 1.5 points at 45,566. NASDAQ up nearly 100 points this afternoon at 21,675. S&P 500 up about 10 at 64.90. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
How is Packers quarterback Jordan Love doing 1 week before the NFL's regular season begins? We're taking a look. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
News sponsored by Ellie Mental Health. Visit elliementalhealth.com.
The Mental Health Minute.
I'm Kelly, licensed clinical social worker and director of Ellie Mental Health Waukesha. As a parent myself, I can feel the back-to-school season fast approaching. If you find your kid excited 1 minute and melting down over the wrong-colored folder the next, welcome. You are in good company. This time of year brings a lot. New teachers, new routines, new social stuff, and for many kids, that also means new worries. Stomach aches, sleep trouble, big emotions over small things. It's all so normal, but that doesn't mean they have to go through it alone, and neither do you. At Ellie Mental Health, we use cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to help kids understand their thoughts, manage their feelings, and build real-life coping skills. We turn "what if I mess up" into "I've got this." Whether your child is struggling or could just use a little extra support, we are here to help them feel more confident and in control. Give us a call today.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com.
It's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Trees on the Move. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Milwaukee Brewers go for a series win this afternoon against the Diamondbacks. They begin the day 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the division. Coverage gets underway at 12:35. And Packers quarterback Jordan Love returns to practice in full, less than 2 weeks removed from thumb surgery on his non-throwing hand.
It's definitely been beneficial just to get back in the flow of practicing, competing, making sure that his fundamentals are crisp, because when they are, I think, he's as good as anybody.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. The NFL's regular season begins 1 week from tonight with the Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And the college football season begins this evening for the Wisconsin Badgers hosting Miami of Ohio for an 8 o'clock kick from Camp Randall.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic, and we do have an issue down in Kenosha County. This just popped up right as we were doing news. 4194 South, very close to Wisconsin 165. You're going to see lane closures coming up because there is something in the road, some debris. I can't tell exactly what it is, but I can tell you it's big. And as cars are going by it, they're having to veer, and that's never a good thing. And actually, right now, I thought for a moment that they had close the lanes because I didn't see any traffic headed in that direction. But no, I do see some cars going by still, but do expect lane closures because at some point they're going to cut off some of these lanes to clean up whatever that debris is in the road. 4194 South, right around Wisconsin 165, down in Kenosha County.
A little on the cool side today. The clouds probably not helping things at all. High of 71 degrees, breezy and cooler. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 55. The sun returns on Friday with a high of 68. 71 on Saturday, sunny and beautiful. Nice on Sunday with a high of 74. Labor Day, sunny with a high of 77. 68, mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Thursday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News is up and running for a short period of time. We've got Brewers baseball this afternoon, closing out a 4-game series. Brewers in the stretch of 19 games in 18 days, and it's showing if you've followed the team and who they're pitching on a given day, but trying to win a series this afternoon. Looking forward to it. Should be a great day at the ballpark. Big stories that we're following here as we hit the noon hour on a Thursday.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Families in Minnesota are mourning today, and the rest of the country is right there with them. We just got an update from the hospital that's treating many of the kids who were hurt in yesterday's mass shooting in Minneapolis. 2 kids were killed. Dr. John Gaykin is a trauma surgeon at Hennepin Health Center. He talked about the emotional impact of caring for so many hurt kids.
Taking care of one child that's injured is difficult. 8 of them is nearly impossible, but it happened yesterday.
Dr. Gaykin also said the kids have a lot of gunshot wounds in places that were meant to kill people. He said there could have been many more fatalities if the kids didn't lay on the floor. He said their training was key. It paid off. Meanwhile, the CEO at Hennepin just gave an update on the patient's conditions.
6 of those patients are in satisfactory condition. 5 of those patients are children. We have 2 patients in serious condition, 1 adult and 1 child. And we have 1 child in critical condition presently.
The FBI is now investigating the mass shooting as a hate crime. Coming up at 12:15, we'll dive into the shooter's background. A former FBI agent will give us a profile of yet another mass shooter who was just another face in the crowd until yesterday.
And number 2, J.D. Vance, Vice President, touching down in La Crosse today. It's been a little while since Vance has been in the state of Wisconsin and in La Crosse specifically. You remember during his run-up to the election with President Donald Trump, he made frequent stops to Wisconsin, including La Crosse. WTMJ's Adam Roberts covering the story today. Vance promoting the Trump administration's sweeping tax and spending bill that was signed into law in July. Adam, where is Vance heading today, and is he on the ground? Are we locked in?
So right now, Greg and Jessica, we are still awaiting the VP's arrival. We're at Mid-City Steel in La Crosse, which if you're not familiar with the area, is kind of right centrally located. We're about a stone's throw away from the Mississippi River. Crowd's already packed in, even though the VP is not supposed to speak until a little after 1 o'clock this afternoon. But it's already a full house, and you mentioned it, Greg. It was last year, a day before the 2024 election, and it's kind of hard to recall, but we had so many visits during the campaign last year on both sides of the aisle, and it's kind of just, you can think about, wow, we don't really get a lot of these outside of those years, and this is a reminder of that it doesn't happen very often. So the crowd's here to take it in, and again, we're awaiting the VP's arrival. That's expected a little after 1 this afternoon.
Adam, can you paint the picture for us, kind of give us an idea, describe the scene? What are you seeing? How is it decorated? What music are they playing?
Well, a lot of your usual Born in the USA, a little Trace Atkins, etc. over the speakers. The crowd, though, is very varied in terms of who's here, young to old, kind of in between as well. I've spoken with some business leaders, mostly for, as you would imagine, blue-collar industries, but also the 2 back rows of the crowd are full of students from Onalaska Luther High School who are in a government class, I was told, and are taking in the scene with their teacher today.
Very interesting stuff. And Adam, is this all part of a broader effort to build public support for this sweeping legislation?
I would imagine so. That's been a lot of the tenor I've picked up from around the room. I will be watching to see, as you mentioned at the top of Now at Noon, with the ongoing story from Minneapolis, if the VP will make any comments at the onset of his remarks today about that shooting. Also curious to see if there will be any mention of FEMA and the ongoing wait that the state of Wisconsin is now in ahead of hopeful arrival of federal funding amid the historic flooding in our part of the state.
WTMJ's Adam Roberts in La Crosse. Adam, thank you.
You bet.
12:14 on WTMJ. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee, home to the state's most up-to-date luxury appliance showroom, featuring top brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Bosch, GE Cafe, and more. They work seamlessly with your designer or contractor. Customize with colors from Blue Star and True Residential. As a small family-owned business with one location, they handle everything from start to finish. Visit ApplianceGalleryWI.com or stop in today.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here reminding you, do not let that busted garage door get you down. If you got a problem, you connect with my friends at Geis. They are wonderful people. They will help you through the problem if you've got one. Maybe you just need a bit of an upgrade. Well, incredible brands like CHI and LiftMaster are in stock and ready to go for you. And when I say in stock, I mean that. They got a wild inventory, a very quick turnaround time for your project. I was amazed with what I saw. They also have a custom design area at their showroom out in Brookfield. So if you got a wood door or just something a little different than the ordinary, it's not an issue for the folks at Geis. They can help you through it all. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeisDoors.com. You can also stop by their showroom in Brookfield, just off Barker Road. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drugged driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
A nice day today, but a little on the cool side, 71 degrees. Getting some peaks of sun here in downtown Milwaukee. And not everybody's going to see the sun today. Hopefully the rain stays away. Overnight low in the mid-50s. Tomorrow the sun returns with a high of 70 degrees. As we get into the weekend, plenty of sun. Temperatures ranging from 72 to 77 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Pretty good stretch of weather here coming up. 68 and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:17. Well, investigators continue to search for information linked to the shooter who killed 2 children and injured 17 others at a church at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis. Still no motive announced for the attack. Robin Westman, a former student, has no criminal history. His mother, a retired employee of the school. What law enforcement has found, however, is deeply disturbing. Wanted to welcome in ABC crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett. Brad, a lot of attention now on this video that surfaced on YouTube, a timed release. In other words, this was all part of an orchestrated effort by Westman to shoot up the school. After he did so, shortly after, people found out who he was. And then, all of a sudden, this video surfaces on YouTube. Walk us through what you learned after watching that video and its contents.
So the combination of the video and for lack of better terms, a manifesto or a journal, where he talks at length about, a lot of hatred of blacks, of Jews. I mean, it goes on and on. He had "Killed Donald Trump Now" written either on one of the weapons or one of the magazines for the weapons. And so this rant goes on and on about hatred and the love and glorification of other mass shooters. He mentions a number of them by name, like Anders Breivik, the shooter 10-plus years ago that killed 70-plus people on an island off the coast of Norway. And Adam Lanza, the Sandy Hook shooter, and in particular praises him for shooting children. Now, obviously, that's what he did. So they're looking for glory. They're looking to be part of a club of mass shooters. And the whole idea is to release this after he's dead. You would think, well, why would he care? Well, he cares at least from the standpoint that now we know who he is. This is all about attention to a certain extent, as weird as that sounds. So the things that I see pretty much are textbook what I have seen dozens and dozens of times, both with my time in the FBI and then the almost 20 years I've been doing this for ABC.
Brad, you say he, and some people are going to take note of that because some people are going to say, but I thought I heard she. In this case, it's a little different. You've got court records confirming that Robin Westman, the Minneapolis school shooter, legally changed her name from Robert to Robin in January 2020. Now, I don't know anything about procedures. What I do know is what we are learning from court documents. If this is a case of a transgender person, does anything about that make you take note?
Can it add to rejection, anger, rage, disappointment? Sure. But all I can tell you is if you take that out of the equation and just look at what he's written and what he said he wants to do and who he hates, it's all what I see, sadly, weekly in mass shooters. So did that contribute? It probably did in some capacity, and we don't know enough about that. We know he changed his name. I mean, he changed it from a male's name to a fairly common female's name. But we'll see what the law enforcement has to say about that aspect of this. But from my perspective, clearly what he's talking about and what he's writing are just like so many other mass shooters.
Deeply disturbing stuff, Brad. And then you also wonder about warning signs. At what point in this person's life did things start to shift and maybe this downward dark spiral begin? No criminal history suggests that maybe he lived or she lived in a bit of isolation, or maybe nobody knew that this person was capable of doing what they did. How do you work to determine where things went south?
So my guess is, well, first of all, you do it through interviews and searches. And the FBI, along with the Minneapolis police, I'm sure have interviewed a lot of people. They had 4 search warrants yesterday, one obviously for the church and the school, but the other 3 were residences, which I can only infer that he has some history at each one of those residences and maybe had lived in all 3 of them. We don't know specifically what they have found yet, but and to your point, did anybody really know what he was doing? These folks these mass shooters tend to isolate themselves because it basically allows them to justify and rationalize and go deeper down the very dark hole that they've fallen into if they are alone, because you start distorting when you have, no frame of reference from somebody else. So I'll be interested to see what they do find at those 3 locations. And just as importantly, what did the people have to say that were around him? I mean, will they have things to say that, we knew he was troubled, but didn't think that he would do anything like this? That many times is the response you get from folks that live close or around a mass shooter. But a lot of information still to be gathered. And, keep in mind, obviously, unless somebody helped them, and I don't think that's going to bear out, that there's nobody to prosecute here. It's all about sort of figuring out, and are there holes that law enforcement and or others could plug to stop people like this? And I think the answer to that is it's tricky. I mean, if you don't know about them, if you don't know about what they're going to go do, how do you stop them? You got the weapons illegally, which is pretty much the case in almost every one of these mass shootings. It's an area which is very difficult for society and law enforcement to fill in.
Brad, as I listen to this interview, there are so many similar themes. We have talked to you about this before. You have now covered hundreds of these school shootings. And this, unfortunately, is not going to be the last school shooting. With your experience, what do you think needs to change to cut down on school shootings in our country?
So, we just don't have, for whatever reason, have the will to do much about firearms, about restricting firearms. And so I think even bringing that up or talking against it is a waste of breath because people have their own feelings about firearms. I get that. I carried firearms for 30 years. I mean, it's this part of this culture. But having said that, it's the reason that we have more shootings, not just mass shootings. That's not the majority of people who get shot. It's people pick up guns and shoot each other. Gang members kill each other. I mean, it goes on and on. Availability of firearms translates into just more shootings. That whatever side you fall on, that's the reality. However, can we do anything about better educating people as to what to look for in those troubled souls that live around them, whether it's their own kids, somebody else's kids? And it becomes tricky, right? You don't like telling other people about things you see that you think are odd or potentially dangerous for fear that that's just all they are. Because let's face it, there's a lot of troubled people in this world, but very few of them go and do what this kid did. And it's like, how do you fill in that blank? And it is really tricky. And I'm not convinced, you'd really have to have, let's just use Minneapolis, or you could use Milwaukee. Let's use Milwaukee. Do you have the manpower of the police and your mental health communities to work together to sort of keep track of troubled souls that they know about? I mean, nobody has the manpower to do that. And I'm not saying that would be perfect, because it wouldn't be. But if you don't know about them, you can't stop them. And it's a place that I fear that we're not going to be able to get to anytime soon.
ABC's crime and terrorism expert Brad Garrett. Brad, we appreciate your time and insight. Thank you.
Great perspective.
You're welcome. Take care.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
Sweet Talks is a woman-owned medical spa in Menominee Falls, fostering self-love and confidence. Our expert registered nurse injectors go beyond injectables, offering lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. Join thousands of satisfied patients at sweettalks.com.
Hey, Brewers fans, if you're headed off to the game, either today or another time that the crew is home, head off to Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before the game, stop into the sportsbook, grab a bite to eat, maybe something to drink, place a wager if you'd like, and they'll give you a wristband. You can hop on the Potawatomi shuttle, and there you go. Drop you right off at the field and even bring you back. How about that for service? Make any purchase in the sportsbook or a same-day sports bet, and you are good to go. Shuttles begin about an hour before first pitch, and they'll return nonstop for about an hour after the game. Pretty easy, right? Make it simple, make it fun. Visit Potawatomi. Check out Potawatomi.com and bet above the rest.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Bill Berrien is a former Navy SEAL, a businessman, and he's running for governor.
I'm Bill Berrien. While the globalists and corrupt politicians shipped our jobs to China, I went all in on Wisconsin. At my manufacturing business, we hire American, build American, and take the fight to China. I'm an outsider and a businessman who puts America first, just like President Trump. Together, we will make Wisconsin manufacturing great again.
Bill Berrien for governor, paid for by Bill for Wisconsin.
And now about your house. It's where you live, but do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home, living beyond the wall. Your imagination may be somewhat limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
I'm confident that 90% of the listeners can look outside their home and dream of a better, nicer, way more outstanding backyard. If you're one of the many, you'll need to call Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited's expert team can design a beautiful, functional, usable backyard space. Then our team can build it. You dream it, we build it. New deck, outdoor kitchen, pavers, retaining walls, screen room. How about a must-see automated pergola that doubles as a screen room? Picture this, a pergola that allows the sunlight through the slats, but with the press of a button, those slats close and now you have protection. Another press of the button and the screens roll down. There's your screen room. The ideas are endless. We recently built a brand new deck with a screen room pergola on top and stairs that lead to a paver oasis complete with a fire pit and seat walls. Amazing. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, automated pergola. Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design and build the amazing backyard. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
See all the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page, or visit their unique outside-in showroom in Waukesha. And if you're looking outside of your home, dreaming of a more beautiful and functional, usable backyard, well, Outdoor Living Unlimited can design and build you an amazing showstopper of a deck, patio, complete with pergola and fire pit, just like they did for us. With expert care, Outdoor Living Unlimited installed a beautiful paver patio, complete with land and stone retaining wall, all sorts of space, room for a built-in kitchen, and complete with a gas fire pit. It's where we spend all of our time. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com. It's 12:31. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Thursday, August 28th. Your top story, a common trait among school shooters.
I'm Jessica Ty. The state's largest school district almost ready for the first day of school.
Slight chance of rain today, breezy and cooler, a high of 71, cloudy tonight, and a low of 55. Currently 68 degrees and mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 12:31. Minneapolis police believe the shooter acted alone, but they're investigating whether the shooter had online interactions with dark websites and chat rooms. Law enforcement communications expert Annie Schwartz tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News one trait that school shooters often share.
They talk to each other, and that's one of the things that makes them different than serial killers, for example, because serial killers operate alone. They don't talk to people. They're not social. These are young people who are obviously reaching out to have connections with others.
Investigators are trying to develop a motive from a manifesto the suspect posted to YouTube.
Flood damage is not stopping staff from getting ready for the first day of school. 12 Milwaukee public schools are still being evaluated for asbestos after the flooding. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius.
Some of our schools have older tiles, older paint, and we're continuing to remediate and address all of those issues. All the affected areas are going to be tested before we allow those areas to be used by children and staff.
The first day of school at MPS is Tuesday.
Well, some Wisconsin Democrats have introduced a bill to ban guns on college and university campuses. Supporters say the bill would ensure college campuses have the same gun-free protections as K-12 schools around the state. Nessa Beal, a sophomore at UW-Madison and survivor of the Highland Park, Illinois shooting in 2022.
Our campuses should be safe places. No one, no student, no faculty member, no community member should ever fear for their life in a space of growth and learning.
State Representative Brienne Brown.
A majority of students, faculty, university leadership, university police, security oppose guns on campus. We need to listen to the people directly impacted by policies like this.
Wisconsin, one of 11 states that allows concealed carry on public college campuses. Quick look at your weather here. 71 degrees, your high today under mainly cloudy skies. Slight chance of some rain. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 55. Then a beautiful stretch Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Full of sun, temperatures in the 70s.
That sounds so pleasant, doesn't it? It's about time to play ball.
No doubt about that. Brewers baseball coming up next year on WTMJ. It's the final game of a 4-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Milwaukee begins the day 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Brewers baseball next on WTMJ.
Hey fans, the Brew Crew are hot and so are the summer temps. Now is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with a new Carrier home comfort system to keep your home cool all summer long. Ask your local dealer about local Wisconsin focus on energy rebates and financing for qualified buyers. Turn to the experts at Carrier. We've got you covered so you can get back to cheering on the crew. Carrier, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Find your local dealer at carriermilwaukee.com.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
3, 2, 1.
Nimmo back at the track. Gone!
Dahl on the track, Dahl at the wall. Goodbye. Home run.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
It's time for baseball on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance. Today, the crew welcomed the Arizona Diamondbacks to American Family Field.
Drilled to left. Watch this baby. Way back. Way gone.
A high drive. Right field. Bye-bye baseball. Carroll back. Makes the catch. Tagging his